Welcome everyone, it's Melissa with Nolting. Today we're here to show you our new spot, our new space that we're living in now. It's our new building. We're going to be doing a factory tour, and we want to take you through it because a lot of people haven't been able to see our new building. And so we're going to take you through a little factory tour. On top of it, I do want to say thank you for your patience over the last couple months. I know that people have been patiently waiting for new machines, or if you've had a repair in here, we appreciate your patience. But in order for us to be able to provide you better customer service and to be able to provide a better company for you, this was the right move that we needed to do to make it a much better environment and culture for our customers. So moving to one building was the best thing that we could have ever done. We're all trying to get into our spots here and trying to get everything put together, and we're close. But we wanted to take you through a tour today. But I want to reiterate, thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it during the last couple months with us. We're excited to be in this new building. We're excited to come and show you a tour. And then after the tour, we're going to have a small little project with our brand ambassador, Mary. She's going to take you through a couple things, and then we'll end with some specials. So let's come on in. And before I get started, I do want to let you know too, I have a couple helpers with me today. Mandy's behind the scenes, so she's the voice when you call in every day, her smiling voice on the phone. Or if you come into the office, she's sitting at our front desk. And then we also have Katie, our marketing person that's behind the scenes today as well. So come on in. I want to welcome you to our new building. So here is our storefront. We have all our glide thread. We have all of our supplies here that we have in our storefront. We came up with some beautiful lighting, so we really wanted to make the space really special when you walk into our storefront. If you come on with us here, Mandy, and all the customers out here, we have a gorgeous desk and reception area here. We have a nice relaxation area that you can sit down and enjoy yourself, grab some pantograph books, and a relaxation room here. And then we come into our storefront. In our showroom, we can now display all of our beautiful machines, our diamond, our Lara, our flare, our light bar, all of our new, all of our commercial frames, and any kind of recertified machines as well that we have in here that we have for sale. So it's a lot bigger area compared to what we had before. We also have our offices. We have engineering here, we have assembly, we have head of factory. We actually even have an engineering lab that we created in this to be able to provide more and new exciting products for you. We have an area for our salesperson and visitors when they come in. You want to come this way. We have an office for our marketing. Katie lives there. I'm in here. We actually have a pond. That's awesome. It's a great view in the winter or in the summer months. Come on, Katie. We'll take you for a little tour here. We have our bookkeeper, our supply room here. We're going to go this way, and now we're going to go into. Oh, forgot one thing. We have a history wall. So right here is our history wall. This is one of Fred's machines, one of his original machines that he built 50 plus years ago. A little bit of some articles that we've been gathering. So feel free, if you do have older articles, we'd love to get them. You can always send them to info@nolting.com. And we'll be putting them, and we'll be expanding our history wall as we gather more and more information. So next, we're going to take you back to the factory. First, we're going to be starting with the machining area. As a lot of you probably already know, and for those that don't know, here at Nolting, we produce all of our machining, and everything is done in-house here. It's all in Hiawatha, Iowa. So we're very, very unique compared to a lot of other companies out there. We build everything from scratch, from pieces of aluminum and we weld it all together, and we take it to paint, and then we do the final assembly here. So I'm going to show you a little bit in the machining area. If you want to span over here, we could just show all the various types of machines we have, and if you want to come with me here, we have a couple CNC machines. This is where we primarily do all the machining, or a lot of the machining for our parts. For example, our machine head starts off with a solid piece of aluminum. This is beefy, solid piece. As we machine it into our CNC heads, this is what it becomes. Pretty cool, huh? No plastic in our heads. Here's just a few other examples. Our display here, this is for our diamond 7-inch tablet that goes in here. Or I should say display, not a tablet. This is for our Alara head. So all our machines, our parts are machined in either one of these CNC. Looks like they have a couple blocks of aluminum in there that they will be CNCing out on Monday when the factory guys get back here. Come on through here. A couple other machines, as you can see, and just kind of span over here, different machines that we have in the machining area. Next, we're going to go into I call it kind of like the staging area. It's where we put our frames together before they go to paint, and then we send them to paint because we make sure all the holes are drilled properly. Send it to paint, and then they all come back through this area, get put together again. And now that we're in one building, we're able to put everything together and test everything together on the same frame. And it makes it much more efficient versus going back and forth to buildings and taking our machines back and forth. So this is our area that we do this in. As you can see, we have rollers here. We have Eric here. He's sitting here building a bobbin winder. All our bobbin winders are all our bobbin winders are built in-house. Back in this area, we build our frames up, bobbin winders, small little assemblies Eric does in this area. And you might recognize him if you've had a machine delivered, because Eric also helps with all our deliveries and shows. Eric comes to our shows with us too. Here's some more frames that Eric is staging here to get ready for customer deliveries. Now let's come back through the welding area. This is where we put everything together. So we have our frames are being welded here. Logan here is welding a frame together. It looks like some legs. We have James over here. As you can see, our bodies of our machines are being welded here. Before we get to even welding them though, which is even cooler, here's how our products start too. Flat sheets of aluminum. The guys come over here, use this bending machine. It becomes the top tube. Same with the bottom. Same with another tube. Here's your piece of metal. Here's what it looks like. Then James uses the fixture here and welds everything together. Awesome. After it goes from welding, it actually goes to our paint, which is about 10 minutes away. It goes out to Anamosa, Iowa. It gets painted, and then I'll take you through the final assembly area. So come on back. Oh, and we do have a little bit of fun. We do have a grill. And our welder here is our chef that loves to do some cooking for us. Here is our final assembly area. So down here we have a lot better lighting compared to in our old building. Our guys have a lot more room that they're able to space themselves out to be able to build a machine. Down there at the end, Kevin is putting a new diamond together. can see the lots of wires, lots of electronics going in it. Here, they're working on a repair, it looks like, on a fairly older machine, a standard speed machine. We have a quilt magazine that's being put together here. We have Scott,
how we doing?
Kevin, Rich.
Hello.
Over here is where they do final testing of all our machines, quilt magazine, shipping areas in that area. And then we have a lot of machines that are coming in that are traded machines. So all the machines sitting over there are machines that came in here. Another cool thing that we have in our new building.
Oh, this is good.
We not only just build all of our bodies of our machines, we are now building all of our control boards. So 4 or 5 years ago, as everyone, they might not remember, we actually brought our engineering in-house. We developed our own electronics and designed and engineered the electronics with our engineer here on in-house here. And now we're actually building our own control boards. So Nolting invested in a pick and place machine. It's not running right now, but it's really cool. So all of our control boards, you know, they might have 50 microchips or 200 chips on here. This particular machine makes all our control boards in-house now. So it's pretty cool. We're making everything from our bodies of our machine to our control boards as well.
And just to reiterate, this is how tiny those chips are.
You can't even hardly see them.
Those are little chips that go on our boards.
So come on back. The last thing that I want to show everyone is really exciting. It's our education room. If anyone was over to our 1105 Hawkeye Drive area, we had a very, very, very small education room. And a lot of times we actually even had to rent out a space when we had our Quilt Magin classes. Now we have this whole area for education. I have 4 10-foot frames in here. And when we did the grand opening, we actually had 2 machines on every frame. So we had 8 machines in here, so a total of 16 people we had in here. Then let's go back to our studio area that Katie and I are in the process of building.
It's our baby. We're working on it.
So here is going to be our studio area that we will have a machine set up and we will have automation set up here as well. And this is where we're going to do our live events. So monthly, I will be doing either myself or a brand partner, an ambassador, a dealer. Someone will be working and helping with doing live events, just like we're doing today. So this is going to be our new home for our events going forward.
Yay.
So that is a little bit of our tour. I hope that you enjoyed the tour. The next thing that I want to do is I want to introduce Mary Woods to you. Mary lives in Illinois, and she is one of our new brand partners. I'm going to scoot through here. She's a brand partner of ours, and she joined our team a couple months ago. She recently got a diamond and a quilt magin, and she's an educator when it comes to quilting and does just started. She came to our grand opening, did some classes for us, and she is going to share a really cool project with everyone. So she's going to be working on a stocking. We're going to come back through here to the storefront. She's going to be working on a stocking, and Katie is going to help us get that on here so you can see that. And then when she gets done, we'll come back and share a few specials and talk about some specials that I have for you today.
In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this stocking with your Nolting. I have a Nolting diamond with quilt magin, and that's how I made this stocking. So I'll walk you through how to do it step by step. First thing, you don't even need a backing. All I have on my frame is some batting. I put it's just a polyester. I like a thicker batting for the stocking so they can have that nice fluffy look to them. So I loaded that. I didn't put any backing. I just put the batting, and now I'm going to put my fabric on there. need a lot, but you do need it enough to make, because you'll have to make a mirror image. So I'm gonna have to place my pattern and do one stocking, and then I'm gonna mirror image it so that it flips and I make the second one. So you're gonna need enough fabric and batting to do two. And as you can see, that's more than enough fabric for what we have to do here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I base that down. I base everything that I put on my long arm. So I'm just going to base the edges. I based at 3 stitches per inch. Before I do anything else, I go ahead and switch this back into regulated mode so I don't forget and try to stitch this whole thing out in based mode, because I've done that before. So now I'm just going to open my software, my Quilt Imagine. Okay, and I'm going to do select and sew because I'm not doing a pantograph. I'm just doing, it's basically just a block. And I got this pattern from Urban Elements. It's Urban Elements with a Z at the end. So select and sew. And now it's going to want me to place my safe zone. So I go to the top left, I'll go out past my quilt sum or my fabric piece. And then I do the bottom right, and that tells it my safe zone. And now it's going to bring up all of my designs. But since I bought this and downloaded it, I'm going to go into my C drive. Downloads. And then I just have to find it, and it is the Christmas Whimsy stocking is the one that I bought. There's so many to choose from on there. All you have to do is go onto Urban Elements, type in Christmas stocking, and it'll bring them all up for you. Okay, with this stocking, because it is a set size, unless I wanted to make it bigger, I just go in and do 1 point. And set it, because the point's right here on the heel. So we'll put it like here. Okay, and then, alright. And then really all I have to do is hit quilt. And so. And now we're just going to watch it stitch out. It shows you what it's stitching out right on the screen. Okay, while it finishes stitching out this stocking, I will point out, it tells me right here how many yards I have left of my bobbin, so I can watch that and know when I need to change my bobbin. And then I have my lighting settings. I love my lighting settings so that you can see what you're doing. And it's just about finished. Yeah, it's almost finished. Okay. And that's how fast the first side of that stitched out. Now, we're gonna go in and flip it so that it can do the reverse. Hang on. Okay, so now it tells me on the screen, finished, back to pattern placement. So I'm gonna do that so that I can place it, and then I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna flip it because it says flip. I'm gonna flip it. That way it's the mirror image of what we just did. And this one I'm gonna put on the other side over here. I'll put the heel about here, I think. And then I just have to touch that to let it know. And see, it's up at the top kind of high for me, so I'm gonna move down just a little bit, and I'm gonna touch that one spot so that it moves it. That's where I want it. I'm gonna hit quilt, and then I'm gonna hit sew. Okay, I'm gonna hold my tails while it gets started. When it gets started, I'll cut these tails off. And while that stitches out, I'm going to show you that when I made my very first one, when I took it off the long arm, I measured all the way around the stocking 3/8 of an inch, and I made an outline, and then I made myself a fancy template. Yeah, it's cardboard, but it works, because we'll also have to make lining to do the method that I'm doing to make this stocking. Which with this, I won't use the template to trace around it or anything because it doesn't matter. I just kind of eyeball it and cut around them, because when I put them together and sew them pretty sides to pretty sides, this already stitches out a line for me to sew along. So when I put them together face to face, I will just sew right along the line that it put on here for me. And that's how quick it stitched out both of them. Right now, we're at almost 14 minutes, and that includes me talking at the beginning and moving it and putting the fabric on, everything. It really takes no time to stitch these out. I made my whole family some in no time flat. So I'm just gonna move that out of the way. I'm gonna cut this off now that it's finished. Let me grab my scissors. It's hard to see in the front because I used matching thread, but on the back you can see the stocking, and I'll just go over with my scissors and I'm going to cut it out about 3/8 to a 1/2 inch bigger than it needs to be. we're gonna move across the room, so hang on and I'll take you over there. And now that we have them cut out, this is the point at which, if you want to personalize them, like this one, this is when you'll do it. I will use my embroidery machine. You can use a Cricut, you can use hand embroidery, you can use the iron-on letters, whatever you want to do to personalize it, but this is the step now that you need to do that. So I'm gonna go and put this sweet little boy's name on this one, and I will be right back. I will just point out though that whatever you do to embellish or whatever, if you decide to, the line that the machine created to make the stocking, you want to make sure you keep underneath that so that it doesn't get up in yours. Okay, now that we have our personalization done, now is the point where we want to put our hanger. We want to make our little tab so that these can hang up. So I cut a 2" by 6.5" rectangle, and I iron that down so those edges meet, and then I fold it again in the middle, and you're going to end up with 6.5" by 1/2" tab. So now we're just going to sew down both sides of this to enclose it. Now that we have this pinned all the way around, I'm going to go over and I'm going to just start at the top here. I'm going to sew, follow that line. I'm going to sew all the way around it, back stitching at the beginning and at the end. And I still use my leader, I always do. Pins. And when I get right here to that tab, I like to backspace, oh my goodness, I like to back stitch right over top of that also, just to give it a little more stability, because that's going to be holding weight when you put things in it. I always use a leader so that my machine don't suck my fabric down in the little hole. I'll do the open side first. And now a trick to keep any of your strapping that you make, a trick to keep it from twisting on you and laying nice and flat, is bring it back to yourself just like it went through and flip it over and sew it from this direction. Don't turn it over and sew it from the bottom on the opposite direction, because that's going to make it twist. So when I do the other side, okay, I cut my little leader off and any loose strings, and then we have our little hanger. When I get to the end, I'm going to back stitch. Okay, and I like to cut off some of this bulk with a pair of pinking shears. Yes, pinking shears. Okay, now that this is finished, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn it right side out, because you'll see in a minute why, but we're gonna go ahead and turn this one right side out, and then we're gonna put it aside while we work on our lining. push it out just with your hands. Okay. Now this one I'm going to put aside until we get the lining finished. Okay, with my lining, I used my fancy template, and I cut out mirror images. I just put them pretty side to pretty side, traced it, and cut it out. So I have my two pieces right here that are already pinned together. And with this one, I am going to use the edge of the presser foot because that's 3/8 of an inch on my machine. And for this one, the only difference is we're going to leave a hole right here for turning. Beginning, back stitch like we did before. I just use the edge of the presser foot to guide me. And I'll take these pins out after I get it sewn because I just put them in there in the middle to hold it together while I cut it. This one's going to pop out anyway. Okay, now I got to my mark here, so I want to back stitch. And then I'm going to stop because I'm not going to sew on that part. Skipping this whole section. Go down here. And then back stitch. Go all the way to the end. Back stitch. And take it off. I'm just going to pull my pins out. Now, leaving this inside out like it is, I'm going to open it. And I'm going to put our other stocking down in it. But we want to make sure that we're putting the stocking the same way down inside of it. Just like this. It doesn't have to go down in there perfect because the only thing that we're worried about is lining our top up. Because we're gonna close this top right now. So I'm gonna line my seams up. I'm just gonna use a clip to line those up on both sides. And then I'll just throw me an extra clip in here on each side just to hold it together. And if you look inside, you can see your stitch line from previously. So I'm going to put it on my machine like this. I will hold this out of the way and I'm going to follow that line just like I did before. But I'm going to sew this all the way around. You just have to go slow and work your way around. Making sure not to sew it together, you know. Lock stitch it, and then now at this point, just like you would if you were doing a bag or anything else, the hole that we left, we're gonna pull the stocking out through this hole. The lining so that it is right side out. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew up the hole that we left. And because it's going to be inside, I'm just going to put it together and put a row of stitches in there because it's inside your stocking. You're never going to see that. If you're picky about that, you can do it by hand, whip stitch it, however, blind stitch, whatever you want to do to hide it. I don't. Because again, nobody's ever going to see this. Because this gets pushed right down in this stocking. Okay. I just use my hand to get all of the parts where they need to be. Okay. Now, from here, this one I'm not going to. On the ones I made us here at home, instead of having it like this and top stitching it so that you don't see the lining, I left a little bit of the lining on mine up like this and stitched in this ditch right here just so it give it like that pop of color. But on this one we're not going to do that, so I'm going to just use some clips. That way my lining stays held down where it needs to be. And then I'm going to top stitch this. You can match your fabric with your thread if you want, but I'm just using white because there's the white stars and it's fun. And at this point you can really just put it on like you would a sleeve. Just fit it over your machine. Put it right on the edge where you would normally top stitch something. And I'm going to top stitch all the way around. Little lock stitch on mine. Clip off any threads that you may have. And voila, you have a stocking.
We go. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Katie. I'm here with Nolting, and we have her here today.
Hi.
Mary, the one and only. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. And thank you so much for walking us through that craft to make a stocking. I wanted to open the floor now for any questions. I do have one question from somebody. They want to know where you got that ornament fabric on one of your projects. Where do you source your fabric?
That was from a shop in New Jersey called Hang by Thread NJ. I typically order my fabric from her, or it's a lot online. We don't have a whole lot of options here in Southern Illinois where we can get fabric in person. So
I'd have realized that's very hard. We do hear that from a lot of our customers. So I'm just kind of going to let the chat kind of go to see if we have any more questions filter in. So some of you may have actually seen Mary. She was at our Built to Last grand opening event, and she actually left with her brand new diamond. Mary, I wanted to kind of ask you what you're thinking about your diamond and how, like, I know you've had it for a little bit. What are some things you really enjoy about it? And with this project in particular, how did it make it easier for you?
Oh, it was so much easier because instead of having to do it on my domestic machine, it was just so much easier to just put the block in, let it stitch it out. A stocking that would have normally taken me like an hour, because it takes a good 20 or 30 minutes on a domestic machine to quilt something like that. And obviously it's not going to be a pretty design like that. It would just be like a crosshatch or something. Without explaining the process, I can make a stocking in like 15 minutes. Easy.
That was gonna be my follow-up, because like my grandma would love something like this. She's got 15 grandkids. Like, so I was gonna ask, how long should you give yourself for this project if you're gonna give it as a gift?
Yeah, like I made 6 for our family, and I got all 6 of them probably knocked out in maybe like an hour, hour and a half.
Okay. And then I see another question that came in, and maybe help me specify if I'm getting this wrong. They want to know, how many stocking designs options are there? Maybe that's more specific to you. Is there a particular stocking design that you would prefer with our Nolting that works easier?
I only found them on, I mean, I think there's a couple on Etsy, but Urban Elements is where I get most of my designs, and I know that there is at least 10 to 15 different designs that you can choose from on there.
Perfect. And I noticed that when we were watching your presentation with the craft,
Mm-hmm.
I believe our Quiltmagine is capable of doing the fonts that when you embroidered the font on there for the name. That is correct, right?
Yes. I don't know that we can do like the satin stitch like you do on an embroidery machine, but yeah, you can do fonts. You can do wording and stuff on there too.
Okay. I got another one. Can you pick where on the fabric you have it stitch out the stocking? Like if you want to showcase a certain part of the pattern.
Yes. When I was saying that I was just choosing the one position, the one dot, because you can that the options are one dot, two dots, or you can do all four. So I just needed to make sure that it didn't go below my safe zone or where it safely can stitch out. So all I did was just do the one dot so I can put it where on my fabric that I needed it to be. But if you want to highlight a specific part of your fabric, yeah, absolutely do all four dots and place it wherever exactly you want it to go.
Okay. I was going to ask a couple more follow-ups as we watch a couple more questions come in. What
Okay.
needles are you using or would you recommend? I know here at Nolting, we always recommend that you change your needle out after every quilt, depending on the size.
Mm-hmm.
If you, and your best guess, what would you say would be good needles to use with your diamond for these projects?
Okay, I actually have a pack right here that I can show you. And I think you sell them in store. It's I think it's Graz Beckert. I'm not sure how you say that, but I find that the size 19 works the best with my diamond. Um, and I was told that I could go up or down, like I could go to an 18, I could go to a 20, but so far I've not had a whole lot of luck with going down to the 18s. The 19 seems to work the absolute best with it.
Okay. And I know that's perfect because currently, right now, we are running our 12 days of Christmas sale. And I believe it's 15% off needles and needles accessories. So that runs until the 23rd of December. So good time to stock up on those for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have another one that's coming in. They see your quilting frame in the background. How long is your quilting frame?
Mine is 12 foot.
12 foot. Okay. Okay, Mary, I know that we're gonna probably wrap it up a little bit unless there's a couple
Yeah.
more questions that filter in. I've got a gal here. Oh, we got Kayla. I have been looking at those stocking designs. I think I'm going to make some stockings before Christmas. So because they're so quick, they're going to be great gifts. Because Christmas is
Yes.
next week. I can't believe that.
I know.
But is there anything you want to leave us with? I know that we are going to go back to Melissa so she can discuss a couple of things that we have going on for Christmas. But anything you want to leave us with before the holidays?
Not anything that I can think of right now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you so, so much, Mary, for joining us. And everyone, you will see more of Mary. She's absolutely a blast. I have very much come to love her, and she knows this. So we will touch base with you later. And
Okay.
right now, we're going to take it back to Melissa. And just give me just 1 second while I do that. And she is going to discuss some of our machine deals we have going on right now.
So a couple things I wanted to highlight that Mary had mentioned or just started mentioning would be the lighting. The lighting is really unique in the Nolting diamonds because of the fact that I have a patent on some of the lighting. Machine. So, Mandy, can you put in that? Can you see that on the video? The blue lighting.
Mind repeating that real quick?
Oh.
We accidentally muted your mic. Could you just repeat what you said about that?
Sure. So one of the things that Mary had mentioned is the lighting feature on the diamond. So with the lighting feature on the diamond, some of the features that we actually created when we engineered our own stitch regulator, we have a patent on, so we're the only ones that can have this particular feature. And it's the low bobbin indicator. So for example, when your bobbin gets down to 10 yards here, it will actually, with our reactive lighting, if you can see this, Katie, Does that show up on the video?
Yep.
You can see the blue light blinking here. You can see the blue light through here. And I'm going to go around back if you want to stay there for a second. There's pantograph lighting in the back. So the blue light is actually back here as well. So if you're pantographing, you can see that your bobbin is running low. People really like this feature on the low bobbin indicator. If you're pantographing, if you are using your Quiltmagine or your IntelliQuilter or any kind of automation system, because you can be over in your stitching area or in your room and your sewing room and doing something else, and now you can visually see out of your eye that something's blinking at you that you need to go back. So this is very unique to the Nolting machines. We're the only ones that have that. The other thing with the reactive lighting, I'm just going to show you real quick, is there's a thread break. So when the thread breaks, it actually blinks purple everywhere. When you're out running your motor, it'll blink yellow. When you turn your machine on, it blinks green. When you turn your machine off, it blinks red. Another, I'm just going to trick this to go back here real quick. Another thing that people really like is underneath here, in the bobbin area, there's a light. So if you're down there and you have a thread that's caught or any kind of maintenance that you're trying to do in your bobbin area, it's much easier to see now because you can turn that light on and off instead of being down there with the camera and trying to look up or something on your forehead, a flashlight. So it's much more convenient. That's a really popular feature that we have on this machine. And then the other lighting areas that Mary mentioned is on our lighting, we also have what we call a color temperature. So if you look at this, this is bluer, and when I use the switch, I can get all the way to a warmer. This is really important when you're using different fabrics and colors. Like Mary was using a red fabric with I think a red thread. Sometimes that's very hard to see when you're seeing the same colors. Well, when you use the different color temperatures here, it'll make your stitching pop a lot better. And as we know, you're going to want to see your stitching as you're quilting things out. Same way with the built-in, we have a built-in black light. So white on white is, it's really nice to have that built-in black light. And then the last thing that I want to highlight, this is on all of our machines, all of our new, I should say, new machines, the Diamond, the Lara, and the Flare, is the cruise button. The cruise is going to make really nice points. So when we look at their stitching down here, Katie, we can see the really nice points because it actually goes into a manual mode as we're stitching. And the big machines, meaning the Lara and the Diamond, this is the Lara model. This is the Diamond. They have a brushless motor. So the performance of the machine is much better with the brushless motor and the cruise mode, and you get very nice stitching. Here's another one that someone did with the Lara. If you want to look at this stitching, Katie, they're doing some nice points here as well. So those are a couple highlights I want to highlight with the Diamond. Over here, if you do, the Diamond has a 7-inch touchscreen. If you do automation, your automation will go into the left side. If you already have automation, you just get a new bracket and then you'd put your tablet on the left side of your machine. So for you right now, we have the 12 days of Christmas going on. We have some great specials going on our website. Visit us at nolting.com. We're sending emails out on a daily basis as well with that special. We have specials on the Diamond, the Lara. Today came out with a special on the Flare. And then throughout the 12 days, we also have some other things such as, I think, a sale on accessories. We have on our packages for machines, you actually get a free light bar. Here's our light bar. It can come in any of your various sizes. It has a dimmable switch on here, so I can dim my lights down. The other thing that you get with the packages that we have going on right now, free color upgrade. So we have some really beautiful colors. Teal has been a very popular one lately. Kind of hard to see on here. This is actually pink.
I like the pink.
This is our Lavender Bliss that's very popular. This is actually our baseline color. This is a deep purple. This is a magenta color. bright red. Actually, here's what we call magenta. This one has a little bit more red to it. And then we have a charcoal. And it looks like two of the color patches that we're missing. We have a glossy white and we also have a glossy black.
And I do want to reiterate that both the Pink Cosmo and the Lavender Bliss are exclusive to Nolting, colors created just for our machines.
They are, and they're very pretty. Especially the glossy black one. We've done a couple just recently that have a gold lettering on it, and it's gorgeous. So those are a couple specials. If you're interested, oh, I know Katie has a special. We have a special coming out maybe tomorrow or the next day on trade in and trade up. So you get a little bit of extra money on your trade in when you trade that machine in for a new machine. So this is the perfect time. Right now we're also doing, if you're not quite sure exactly what you want, you can actually lock in the pricing. It's $1,000 down, and you can purchase it anytime in 2026. So that locks you into the 2025 pricing before 2026 pricing comes out. And we would love to talk to you. You can give us a call at 319-378-0999 and talk with Mandy. Mandy will help you and give you a few more details on it. You can go to our website, nolting.com, and on our website, there's a couple different, on our banner, there's a banner specifically for the diamond, there's a banner for the 12 days of Christmas. The 12 days of Christmas, they do end December 23rd, so next Tuesday. Tuesday is the last day, so if you're looking at upgrading or wanting some accessories, go out there and take advantage of what we have going on for our sales right now. Facebook, I believe we've been posting stuff on Facebook, and look at your emails daily because that's where you'll see the upcoming sales that are happening. If you go to our website, we actually have them all listed for every day. They might not necessarily be active today, but look at it the day that you're the sale that you're wanting to get in on, and you'll be able to on that day be able to take advantage of that. Once again, give us a call, 319-378-0999. Call your local dealer, call your brand ambassador. Mary would love to talk to you that was here today. Any questions, Katie, from any of the audience right now, any of our customers that are out there?
What is a good basic machine to start with? If you're just getting into quilting, someone wants to know.
Sure. Great basic machine. Let's go over here and look at the flare, Mandy. This is our flare. It has our new electronics on it. It's a 20-inch throat. So when we say our throat size, it goes from our needle to the back here. That's the 20 inches. That has 8 inches of space here. It still has all our great stitch regulator on it. Regulate, manual, that cruise mode that I just mentioned, and the basting stitch. You can change any of your stitch spacing here. You can also change it on your thumb buttons. You have needle up, down. Your lighting here, you have dimmable lighting in your front and through your throat area. You have a built-in laser pointer. If you put back handles in the back, you would have a built-in laser on the back as well. You can change your brightness of your display. You can actually change your colors on your display. It has project counters built in, and it tells you when you should oil your machines. One of the things that's very unique with the Noltings is that it's very maintenance free. We have 4 oil wicks up here. It's the same on every machine. You oil every 8 hours of quilting time, and your machine now will actually tell you when you should oil. It reminds you of your control settings, and we actually have built-in diagnostics directly on your machine, so you can, if something were to happen, we can actually work with you over the phone and see if there's anything that we need to look at. I pulled up the thread already here. So this is in our regulate. I'm going to put it on cruise so you can see. So that is called our flare. It's a great machine, and it's a great starter machine for someone to start off with. Any other questions, Katie, that that customers or potential customers that are asking out there on our live?
I'm not seeing anything right now. Just know that we've got the machine that Melissa just highlighted, that was the flare, and that actually is up for our 12 days of Christmas sale on flare packages. All 12 days of Christmases are available until the 23rd of December. So once they are revealed, they are available until that day. So don't miss out on those, especially before 2026 pricing kicks in.
That's right. Well, I appreciate everyone joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the tour of Nolting here in our new building. And really, this is our new home. This is our new home in the beginning for a great future and to be able to provide better customer service for all of our customers and our new customers that are coming to us. It's a great home that we're building here. And we'd love to have you come to Nolting, our new building here. We will have monthly events, and we'll have we always have a big grand opening, or I should say a big open house in the summer. So hopefully we'll see your face at some point. But we thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you can take advantage of some of the 12 days of Christmas. And happy holidays, everyone, and Happy New Year.